This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich.
And I'm Kelley Gilster of 618 Studios.
And we are on a mission to help filmmakers level up their businesses and their craft so they can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Hi, Cassie, and welcome to the Level Up Podcast. We are so excited to chat with you today.
Thanks, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's so nice to finally meet you in person, per se. Now that, I don't know, we've connected so much on social media, and so it's nice to actually have a conversation now.
I know. I'm so excited.
So for those of you who don't already know who Cassie is a great filmmaker. Are you in North Carolina or South Carolina?
Yes,
I can never remember.
North Carolina. Yeah, I'm in Charlotte, but...
Okay, so she's based in Charlotte, but she films some destination weddings as well, and she is so talented. But one thing we love about Cassie is her unique ability to kind of overcome challenges that she's faced in her business, all in the goal of just really reaching for her dreams and absolutely crushing it along the way, actually. But can you just give a brief, maybe overview of how your business has looked when you got started and how that growth has looked to today?
Yes. First of all, you're making me blush. You're so nice. I'm so excited to be here. But I actually filmed my first wedding in 2013. I was in college. One of our friends was getting married, and I studied film in college. And so she was like, hey, do you want to film my wedding? And so I literally talked to my husband that night, and I was like, hey, can I go buy a camera? So we went to Best Buy that night and bought a T3i, the Rebel, and I filmed my first wedding. And I wish I could say oh, from there, it was a straight shot, but my journey to where I am today is so much back and forth, so much doubt, going for it, stopping, going for it, stopping. So I would say I didn't really start my business really until 2016. And then right after I decided to go full time, we moved across the country and I got pregnant. So it still was more the starting, stopping. But then it was the fall of 2020 when I decided, hey, we had two girls. I think my youngest was 6 months, and I was like, hey, I'm ready. I need to actually do this. So I used to kind of look back on my story and feel a little bit of oh, I wish I would have started sooner. Oh, I wish I would have believed in myself more. But I've come a long way to really appreciating, no, this is my story. It is a lot of doubt and going for it and stopping, but it ultimately got to me where I am right now. And I'm so happy with that I'm kind of just going to own my story now. So it doesn't have to be oh, I filmed a wedding and from there it was, I shot up, I filmed, tons of weddings after that. It was kind of just a slower start for me.
That's amazing and so inspiring too. I think that a lot of people, success is never linear, they say.
Yeah.
And so no matter, what level of success you hit in year 2 versus year 4 or whatever, I think that it's good to take things as they come, and as real life comes into play, pregnancies, babies, moves across the country, all those things. I think sometimes we have to give ourselves a lot of grace as business owners to realize that real life comes into play and then your business kind of has to take a back seat. We've experienced that as well. And so then when it's time to go for it, you recognize it and you go for it. So yeah.
I'm a big believer that there are seasons in life, and there are seasons when it's not the time to be hustling and, hitting the ground running and doing all you can because other things, as you said, come into play. But I'm just grateful I'm at a season now where it's oh no, I can focus on my business. I can, treat it like a business versus a hobby. And so the last 3 years have been really, I've grown the most because I've been able to, give it the attention it deserves.
And how has that looked for you? I actually would love to hear once that mental shift kind of happened, what did that look like in the day-to-day, and how did your weddings change? How did your business change? How did your mindset change?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've always loved film, and in college I emphasized in documentary. more on the producing side. So something about me is I'm completely blind in my right eye, and I have really poor vision in my left eye. So my right eye is slightly smaller, and everything is blurry a lot of the time unless I have my glasses on. So I never thought I could be the one behind the camera. I actually had a professor in college kind of say to me, like, because of your eyesight, I would suggest you, like, go a different avenue than like operating a camera. And I wish I could have had the confidence to be like, no, screw you, I'm gonna do what I want. But I definitely kind of was like, oh yeah, you're right. So I did a lot of like producing in college, but I fell in love with documentaries. I loved just the idea of telling someone's story. And so I was really grateful for the opportunity to travel a lot and to work on a lot of documentaries. And then I always thought I'd move to LA, go to Hollywood, like work in a studio or something, travel the world. But I met my husband and we fell in love, and he had a really great job offer in Virginia. And he's amazing. He was so supportive. He's like, hey, like, I don't have to take it. We can find something, else. And I was like, you know what, this feels right. Let's do it. And so from there, I got a job at the Virginia Film Office, and it was a lot of photocopying receipts. It was not, very glamorous. And then his work was going to move him to Arizona. And I was like, I really just don't want to start over at another office and have to work my way up. And my husband, who's so supportive, was like, you have wanted to get into videography for so long. You've done some weddings, it's been a hobby. Like, just do it. Just pursue it full time. And so for the next, I would say 4 years after that, it was very much like a little bit of a more serious hobby. I would not say it was a full business, because in those 4 years, I got pregnant and had both of my daughters. And I have like terrible pregnancies. Like, it just was not fun. So I did what I could. And I always wanted more, but I would always think like, oh, that's not for me. Like, it's not like my time. Like, that's great. Other people are doing it, but I'll never have that. And it was in the fall of 2020 when my youngest, I think, was like 7 or 8 months. COVID was happening. I just was like, I literally have no purpose. Like, I'm going crazy. I need something. And so that's when I decided, I was like, I'm going to get serious about it. Like, I'm just going to go for it. And even the last like 3 years, it wasn't like I just like decided to go for it and then it all fell into place. I still dealt a lot with like imposter syndrome and doubt and like figuring out how the heck do you juggle running a business when you have small kids. And so it's been definitely a learning curve for me. But I think once I realized it was less about like the actual work I was producing and more about my business and my mindset, it got a lot easier to kind of figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, that is so true. And yeah, having kids, I don't know those listening, if you have kids or if you don't have kids, but kids are a whole nother ball game in this whole industry. And with the childcare situation, I feel like, and it changes so much because kids, like, their needs change so much. So your childcare changes so much. It's
Yes.
never like, and I don't know about you guys, but like, it just doesn't really feel like financially responsible for us to bring on someone like 40 hours a week full time because
Yeah.
our business is so like, you hit your slower seasons and then you hit your busier seasons, and like it just never made sense for us personally to do that. So you can sometimes have to get scrappy. I know you can get
Yes.
scrappy, Cassie.
Yeah. Well, something else that would not recommend this, but I actually am not able to drive because my eyesight is so poor. And that sucks. I'll be the first one to say, like, believe me, if there was a way I could drive, I would drive, because it's a big burden, like, on my family, just on my life. And so luckily we found like the most amazing neighborhood where I am able to walk to almost everything. There's like a school in our neighborhood, a K-8 school, but before my kids are not in school, there's no preschool I can walk them to. And so luckily we have the most amazing gym. They offer 3 hours of gym childcare. And I was like, you know what? I can either like just be negative and sad about my life and about this hand I've been dealt, or I can find a way to make it work. I don't want to live my entire life just wishing I could change something that I literally can't. Like, I was born with this eyesight. I'm going to die with this eyesight. This is just what's going to happen. And so I've gotten really creative. I use the full 3 hours of gym daycare. When I'm busy during my busy weeks, I don't work out. I literally drop them in daycare. I go to the cafe and edit for 3 hours. I wake up at 5 a.m., get like 2 hours of editing in. Right now, I feel like my husband and I definitely live two separate lives where he finishes work at like 6, I come upstairs, I work for a couple hours. But this is what I have to do to make it work. There's like a really famous quote, and it's something like everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Like you're never too busy for something, you just don't prioritize it. And I think that can sting a little. Like that can be kind of like, ooh, but it's true. So it's like if I want to make this work, if I want to run a business, I have to prioritize it. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to. My oldest starts kindergarten in the fall, and my husband, now that he's fully remote, is going to be driving my youngest to preschool. So next fall I will have like not I'll have a life outside of gym childcare, and I am like, how am I going to edit for 4 hours straight like in the middle of the day? Like I don't know what that's like. So I'm like really excited. I mean, it's the only form of running a business I know is having kids. And so it's been the last 6 years have been amazing. I've been able to like be home with my girls and be a part of their lives so much, but I'm very excited for this next chapter.
I'm so excited for you. And
Yes.
you're just honestly so inspiring. Like
Oh, thank
just
you.
everything that you've been saying. And I hope that those that are listening or watching on YouTube, like just really feel that. Like there's nothing that, I think sometimes feel like, oh, I can't reach the luxury market because I live in this area, or I can't reach the luxury market because I don't have like a support system to get me there or anything like that, or they just have that imposter syndrome where they feel like they're not good enough. And I just want to say, like, kick that all to the side. Like, it doesn't serve you. Like, shift that mindset to, you can do it. And
Yes.
yeah, everyone here believes that you could do it too.
Yes. I am very much a person where it's like, okay, feel your feelings. My friends always make fun of me, but one of my other friends told me this and I love it. And it's like, whenever you're feeling anxious or like depressed or like imposter syndrome, invite that feeling in to have tea with you and like just sit with that feeling, let yourself feel it. And when it's ready, it will leave. And then you pick yourself up and you go do whatever you want to do. So I think there can be hard things in life. Like, yes, not driving is hard, not having consistent childcare is hard, but like, I don't want to just let that be the reason I don't chase my dreams. And for me, and you guys, I know you have kids, like, it's so important for me, for my girls to see their mom, like, chasing her dreams and working, because when they grow up, I want them to know that they have the same ability to do so. Like, we are not limited. Like, I literally am blind. Videography should not be like the first thing I jump to, but I love it and I'm good at it and I can create amazing films. So I'm like, I'm not going to let just the fact that I can't see very well hold me back. And I really want my girls to see like there's no limitation in life that can keep you from chasing your dreams.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not just doing it, like, you are like killing it. Like, your business like has exploded. You're doing so amazingly well. Like,
Thank
you've
you.
increased your prices. You're doing like all these beautiful events. Like, so I mean, I love the idea of like you can do anything like you put your mind to and stuff, but like it can be more than you even thought it could be. Like, I'm sure when you started your business, you didn't think it would
Oh, yeah.
end up this way, but like you're legit.
I remember when I first started, I was living in Arizona and I got, I say coffee, I don't drink coffee. I got hot chocolate, she got a coffee. And chatting with this photographer, and she was like, I really think you could raise your prices to $1,800. And I was like, what? No way. Like $1,800, that is so much. There's no way. And it's just, I wish I like could see myself now.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
think with that, it's like, it's also, I think, okay to change your dreams. Like, I even remember, so for those that don't know, I was in Taylor's Elevate Mastermind. That really is what kickstarted my business into becoming a business. I will sing its praises end of time. I love Taylor. She is a big part of she is a big part of why I am where I am today. But even when I started
love you
I
too.
had no desire. I had no desire to serve the luxury market. I was like, yeah, I think I'm fine. Like, just charging like $5,000 a wedding, and it's okay to change your mind. Like, I feel like a year later, I was like, wait, no, I'm ready for the next thing. But with that, I think it's also so important to celebrate where you were. Like, I feel like I'm so goal oriented, and once I hit something, okay, next big thing. Like, I remember thinking like, I will never book a 5-figure wedding. Like, wow, if I've done that, life is made. Now that I've done that, I'm like, hey, what's next? I'm like, no, wait, like 2 years ago, I would have like been ecstatic. Like I need to celebrate this and like enjoy this before just like, hey, what's the next thing?
Yeah, I love that. I love that there's like this quote that says like the you like 5 years ago wishes
Yeah.
that they were where you are now. So like yeah, like really praising yourself and finding yourself, happy and content
Yes.
with where you are because I know that, the 2018 versions of ourselves are just so in awe of where our businesses are now. And I'm sure that our 27 businesses or whatever, that we'll be so proud of ourselves at that
Yes.
point too.
And I
So,
think that was a big reason of why I decided just to start because in 2020, I mean, it had been 7 years since I filmed my first wedding. And I was like, if I had just like started right then, where would I be now? And so when I was deciding to like actually treat this like a business, I was like, okay, well, in 5 years from now, I don't want to look back on this moment and regret not going for it. So I'm done. I'm done doubting. I'm done, second guessing. I'm just going to commit to it and I'm going to do it. Like, and you can do it. Like once you get rid of those like limiting beliefs, it's just like, there's no ceiling. Like you can just keep going up.
okay, so Cassie, now that you are in the luxury market, your business looks completely different than it ever has before. Can you kind of walk us through like what your starting is, what your clients are spending on average, and sort of what your collections look like, I guess?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think there is like such power and like vulnerability and like people are so weird about talking about money, but I love that you guys like make it such like a normal conversation. Like my husband, he will show anyone our finances. And I'm like, "Wait, why are you doing this?" But he no, it's so important just like talk about money and all that stuff. So, my current average booking is about $12,000, which is absolutely insane. Um, and I take just a select number of weddings right now during the year just because this is my last little bit with my girls at home with me. But ideally, I would be taking about 10 to 12 weddings a year. And I am starting to branch more into like the weekend wedding experience, which I absolutely love. I think that's such like a amazing way to, capture like the whole event and stuff. Um, did that answer everything?
Yeah, and so your
Thanks.
your average is around 12, and then
Yeah.
what are they getting out of that? Like if they were
So,
to book your middle
yes.
package.
So I do like tailored proposals. I kind of got rid of the package system. I just feel like no wedding is the same. So I kind of like to be able to like craft something unique for them. So usually if they just want like the base offering, it will include like up to 10 hours of coverage, two shooters, a highlight film. I do a social media edit because I love social media. Like it's very easy for me to just like pop something up, the couple days after the wedding, and then aerial coverage. I love drone. I cannot fly one. My eyesight just I would lose that thing so fast, but I do include it in my packages because I think it's such a unique perspective of the day.
Well, I am so proud of your growth. It's been amazing watching your trajectory over the last 3 years. And that's actually going to bring us to our very first luxury insider tip of the day brought to you by Wedding Post House. We love Wedding Post House. Cassie, actually, you connected us with Brady Huff.
Yes,
So thank
I
you.
love Brady. He is the absolute best. His business is just so cool, and it's taking off too. Like that's another example of like they're having so much success. So I'm so happy that you guys are working together.
Yeah. So, Wedding Post House, for those of you listening who did not catch his episode either last week or a few weeks ago, Wedding Post House is this awesome service that does all of the culling and multicam syncing for you. It's available on Final Cut, DaVinci, and Adobe. They're super fast turnarounds, under a week. And the best part about Wedding Post House is that you get to keep all the creative control. So, you get to outsource kind of the part that nobody really likes to do anyway, and then you get to bring all that footage back into your editing room and have fun with it, which is what we love to do as filmmakers. Also, Brady with Wedding Post House has given our audience a special discount code, Level Up 10 for 10% off of your culling services with Wedding Post House. So, what is your luxury insider tip for this episode?
So my luxury insider tip is that no one should believe in you more than you believe in yourself. if you want to serve the luxury market, you have to have the confidence to do so. You have to think that you are capable and worthy to be doing that, because no one's going to believe you if you don't, you know?
That's a good
Amazing. So good. You got to believe in yourself. It's great to have a
Yes.
cheerleader in your corner, or a few cheerleaders in your corner, but ultimately,
Yes.
Get that imposter syndrome out of there and just believe in yourself and your
No.
business fully.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, words of affirmation is my love language. Like, you can tell me nice things about myself all day. I'm totally fine with that. But I got to a point where I was like, I can't rely on a steady stream of like words of affirmation from other people if I'm not giving it to myself. I saw a really good TikTok the other day. My friend sent it to me, and it was like, imagine saying what you say about yourself to your best friend. Like, would you ever talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself? And it's like, no. So I realized, I was like, I need to be giving myself those words of affirmation, because I can't rely on other people. I need to fully believe in myself and fully believe that I'm capable.
Yeah, that's
Love
so
it.
true. And we all have different sets of challenges, whether that be health or physical or location or kids or, maybe like not having the finances to support like buying the gear that you want right now or whatever it may be. Like, just knowing that like everyone that you see out there online literally like has a different set of struggles that they're dealing with, and you just can't see it because they're not sharing. So to me, that's like,
Yes.
I don't know, that makes me personally feel better. Like, I don't like feeling alone. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm the only one dealing with something. And one thing, so I love TikTok. I'm like a huge TikTok person. And I don't know about you guys, but anytime I see like relatable content, like my like catchphrase like to my husband is, we're all living the same life. Like, we really are. Like, we all
Yes.
deal with the same
Yes.
challenges. And I don't know, there's like some comfort in
Yes.
that.
No, I think it's also, I'm going to butcher this quote. I love quotes. I feel like they resonate with me. But it was one that was like, while we may not all be in the same boat, we're weathering the same storms. And I just think that sometimes we can feel like no one understands us, no one gets what we're going with. And yeah, there may not be a ton of blind videographers who can't drive out there. I know there's a few, but that doesn't mean like other people don't have like a challenge. And I'm not unique. Like, I am not unique in the sense that I have limitations that I'm working to get past to pursue what I love. Like, I feel like that can be applicable to anyone. And it's just about having the right like mindset to work through it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for somebody who maybe is in year like 2 or 3 or 4 of their business, and they really just know they are dreaming big and they have big goals, maybe to get to where you are or to enter the luxury market or whatever it may be, like, do you have any like actionable steps of things like maybe they can put into practice here in 2023 to start kind of like inching their way towards those big goals?
Can I plug your course right here? Because
Yes.
that's what I recommend. Sign up for, what is it called? I should know
Luxury
this.
Filmmaker Framework.
Yeah.
Luxury filmmaker. Okay, first step, do that. But also, I think patience. Like, I have in the past just wanted all these things and wanting it now. Like, you have to put in the work. Like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. There are so many days where I still have moments where I'm like, should I keep doing this? Like, is this even worth it? Am I going to get to where I want to go? But that's where everyone else gives up. And if you push through that, you will make it. So I would say, change your mindset, know that it's not going to be easy, and it's something you're going to have to definitely work towards, but also just get out and shoot. Like, don't let yourself, like, what am I trying to say? Don't let the fear of like not being good enough hold you back from doing it. Just get out there. I think having a community is so important because, as we said, like, it can be lonely. Running your own business is lonely. And my frienders who are also in the wedding market, like, no one will get what I do more than them. Like, I have an amazing family, amazing friends, but people that serve like the luxury like wedding market, like, having them in my corner is so important. And I also say affirmations. Like, I love a good affirmation. If we don't do them in the morning with my girls, they're like, Mom, we forgot our affirmations. Like, you are rewiring your brain to like think differently. And so I'm a big believer in just speak what you want into existence. You know, it doesn't matter if you're not there yet, just keep saying it. Like, if you're not serving the luxury wedding market, and you want to be, like, just wake up and say, I'm a luxury wedding videographer, or like, I'm going to serve a luxury, or I can be a luxury wedding videographer, or I'm good enough to be a luxury wedding videographer. Just start now. Does that make sense?
Actually, like, can we dive a little bit more into this whole affirmation thing?
Yes.
I like love. I don't think they're called self-help books anymore. What are they called? Like personal development books.
No.
But I love those kinds of
Yes.
books, and I
Yes.
always see the idea of affirmations like pop up. But I'm always honestly like a little skeptical. But it sounds like this is something that you really love and like really works for you. Can you like walk us
Yes.
through like what that looks like? How are you doing it? What are
Yes.
you saying? How often are you doing it? I don't know. All of those things.
Okay, so I'm not a science person. I'm not going to say this right, but there is like, I shouldn't say Google it. That's not where you get scientific information. But there is like research that you can like rewire the way your brain thinks by saying something out loud a certain amount of times. And so it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before about realizing I needed to be giving myself those like words of affirmation. I needed to be saying things even if I didn't believe in them. So I started every morning, I would wake up, I would look myself in the mirror, which is so awkward, and I would just write down some affirmations. I think what I used to say was like, I would say, I'm good enough to serve the luxury market. There is a space for me in the luxury market. What other ones would I say? Like, I have them written down somewhere. The ones I say now, I still do them in the morning. And I think it's also really important. I like to have my affirmations also reflect like gratitude. I just think we can get so caught up on like wanting the next thing and wanting more and more. I need to like take a moment to appreciate what I have. So one of my favorite ones is everything I have is all that I need, and everything I need is all that I have. But I love them, and I think being the mom of two young girls, I do them with them in the morning. Like being a girl is so hard, and especially as they get older and become, you know, go to middle school or become teenagers, I want them to have the foundation of that like self-love. So I do them in the morning, but then I also will just say them to myself during the day. Sometimes I don't even say them out loud. If I catch myself having a moment of like anxiety or doubt, I'll just remind myself. I'll just say, no, you're good enough. You belong. Like, feel your feelings. It's okay. That sort of stuff. So
I love it. I need to start doing that. I should put them on my like
you
bathroom
should.
mirror. I feel like that's what a
Yes.
lot of people do. They'll kind of like write them on their bathroom mirror so that when they're getting ready in the
Yes.
morning, it's just a reminder to say them. And I always love when I
Yes.
see like other moms on Instagram saying their affirmations to their
I
kids. I don't know if you
know.
guys follow,
It's
like I
so
think it's
cool.
Lindsay Girk
Yes. Oh
or
my gosh, I
something.
love
Yeah.
her. She's like one of my
I
favorites.
love her too, and she has that adorable one that she sings for her kids, and I need to like memorize it so I can sing it for mine
Oh,
too. But
yes.
but affirmations aren't just for your kids, they're for yourself
Yeah.
too. And I didn't really have like affirmations, but there was a few times out loud when I shot that huge wedding with Jose like a few weeks ago, and I was just like really in my head, and I was just like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, Kelley, you can do this. Like, Kelley, you can, you know, this is
Yeah.
this is like I was texting my college roommate, and because I was kind of starting my business when I was in college, and she was really much there along for the ride, and I kind of started getting like a little teary eyed because we were on our way to the rehearsal dinner, and we were gonna like start off the weekend, and I was like, hey, like, you know, I don't always keep her updated on every part of our business, but I was like, we're like going into like our biggest wedding of our entire career so far, and we're working with Jose, and she was like, 2010 baby Kelley would be so in awe of like where Kelley is now. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, you know, getting all teary on it. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it's been 13 years. Like, that's a long time.
a long
And so I
time.
think someone that can look, because Kelley, you do stunning work, like beautiful weddings, beautiful work. And I think someone could look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like, I'll never get there. But it's not like it was like easy for you. You worked so hard for 13 years. That is so long.
Yeah.
So I think it's so important. Yeah.
we have the same journey as everyone else. Shot our first wedding for
Yeah.
free, shot our second one for
Yes.
$300, our next one for $500. And, you know, we've definitely had like peaks and valleys in our business for sure. And I mean, we still, like, it's still not all rainbows and butterflies, you know? I was telling Taylor actually like some off the you know, behind the scenes things of another wedding we have coming up. And I'm like, I mean, here we look on Instagram and it's like, look, we're working with like one of the biggest photographers in the world, and we're shooting this like $2 million wedding, and it's great. And then on the other end, I'm like, oh, I'm working with this planner who's just like been really rude to us for this next wedding. And, you know, you're just like,
Yeah.
it's not all great. You know, you can't, you always, you know, like I said, we're weathering the same storm. We all live the same lives.
So, kind of going back to overcoming challenges, like we said, To me, I feel like that's what sets some people apart from the crowd, and it's doing what needs to be done in order to achieve your goals. So you mentioned like the childcare through the gym and being really gritty and waking up at 5 a.m. I definitely see myself in your story. Like I was telling Kelley, I had to wake up at 3 a.m. like multiple times this week just to like, you know, we're like getting this course finished up, editing podcasts, like all this stuff, and it's like all in the name of like pursuing a goal. But I just want to talk a little bit about like going all in on your dreams and how like you said, like it's not easy, but I want to expand on that just so people can kind of see that like there's no such thing as like an overnight success, an instant success. Like success is not easy, but I think you said this before, like anything worth having is hard. I want to give like people who are listening just like encouragement that like it doesn't have to fit within your 40-hour work week, like 8 to 5, Monday through
No.
Friday. Like there are seasons of like really pushing hard and seasons of rest and like realizing like which season you're kind of in. So like, for example, like Kelley, like you have all the stuff going on and you're like, I think I need a nanny. And I'm just like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like when Sloan, her daughter, can like go to like the same preschool as her son, Micah,
Yes.
and like realizing that everything is a season and it's not going to be like hustle, 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 like for forever. Like, I don't know, it's short, intense bursts, I guess is what I'm trying to like
Yes.
get at.
No, I'm very much a person where my husband always makes fun of me for this. Like what I'm feeling now, I truly believe I will feel it forever. And so he's always like, hey, like even if I'm cold, I'm like, I'll never be warm again. And he's like, so sometimes with my business, it's the same thing where it's like, I am never going to like for me knew, I was like, I really want to be a mom and I want to be a filmmaker and I will not feel fulfilled with just one. I need both of them to like feel fulfilled in my life, and not everyone's like that. But there are times where I see like people without kids just like jetting off to like this meetup or filming a wedding over here, like, you know, doing this and taking a shoot in the middle of the day. And I'm like, what is that like? But for me, it's like, you kind of have to sit down and figure out what life do you want. And that's the cool thing about life. There's so many different ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do life. And then for me, I was like, hey, I want to be as involved as I can with my kids while they're young. And I also want to be a wedding videographer. So what do I need to do to make both those things happen? And yeah, that's like, there's some Saturdays when I don't have a wedding that I literally work all day and I'm missing out on the family time, but like making that sacrifice to be able to be home with them during the week, it's worth it for me. And also the knowledge of it's not going to last forever. And as I said before, if this was easy, everyone would do it. And I don't think this just has to be necessarily for like the wedding market, but pursuing any dream and going after anything you want. If it was like easy, everyone would be doing it. And those moments where you feel like you want to give up, I truly believe like when I hit the wall of like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, is this worth it? If I get over that hump, there's something really awesome like waiting for me on the other side. And if I had given up, I would never know what that was.
Yeah.
So
Have you guys
It's
seen
so
the
good.
meme of like underground? There's this guy with like a pickaxe and he's like digging in the ground and he like gives up and turns around, but he was like just inches away from like the treasure that he was like digging for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'll like insert it here just so you can get a visual.
Yes, please do. Well, I think it's also so important to like just prioritize things. One of my favorite quotes, guys, another quote, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassing, is like, of all the balls you juggle, remember some are made of plastic, some are made of glass. Like there are things that are plastic balls. You can drop them. You do not want to see the rest of how this room looks like. That is a plastic ball I dropped cleaning my room because I had other more important things to be doing, you know? So it's like, if you want to make it work, you just have to prioritize it, and you cannot do everything. Like I've had a nanny before, I have house cleaners, I have a meal planning service. Like no one can do it all. And you just need to remember like, hey, if the laundry sits in a laundry basket for a week, like that's fine. My kids are healthy. I fed them dinner. I got this wedding edited, you know, it's fine. So I think it's just important to just remember that you can't do everything and no one can do everything. And social media, I love social media. And I also think there's a balance. I love being vulnerable and authentic on social media, but I also think you don't want to completely air your dirty laundry like woe is me. So there definitely can be a thing where you look at everyone else and you're like, wow, everyone else has their act together. Like, no, they don't. Like, I guarantee someone had a meltdown right before they posted that picture, you know, or their kid was throwing a tantrum at the grocery store. Like, we're all just trying our best, if that makes sense.
Very true. It's so true. And I also think like going back to like knowing like you're really grinding in a season or you're, you want to keep going and all this stuff. It's like, success requires like getting uncomfortable sometimes, like getting out of
Yeah.
your comfort zone and who knows what that looks like. Maybe that looks like changing up a system in your business that you probably told yourself you'd never do before, but now it's serving you in this time of life that you're in. And I always love like speaking to filmmakers, like younger filmmakers that like maybe are single, don't have a family yet, and like they are like loving like the adventure side of things, and they're loving traveling, and they're all of that, and they're happy with like where their price point is, and I'm like, like go for whatever serves you right then. But then I also like, I don't always say this, but I think in the back of my mind, like, but just know that it's okay if you outgrow this part of your business too. There's going to be a time where like maybe the travel doesn't feel as fun because now you have a spouse that maybe isn't in your business with you. I've seen that so often with now being, in the industry for as long as I have. I've seen lots of colleagues of mine like change the way that they felt about travel or change the way that they
Yeah.
felt about this or that. And just leaning into those and then knowing that yes, how my business looks right now might serve me, it might not serve me right now. I maybe have my sights for something else, and just knowing that it's going to take a little bit of getting out of your comfort zone to find that pathway.
I have a quote
I
now.
think if it doesn't,
Oh, you can go. You can go.
what's your quote?
Okay.
No, I was just going to say, if it doesn't scare you, it's probably not worth doing. That's just my opinion.
That's true.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
ready for this quote, Taylor.
Okay, so I just saw this a few weeks ago on TikTok and it stuck with me. You're like doing good things when you're following the rule of thirds, which is a third of the time you feel like you're unstoppable. Like you feel so great, you feel so confident, like you're like, yes, I'm winning. And then a third of the time you feel like okay-ish, and then a third of the time you feel like, what am I doing? Like this is so hard, like this is so uncomfortable. So like success is when you have kind of all those feelings like equally split with your time. So that doesn't have to be like within a single day. That might be within like a single month or a single year. But like you're onto something really, really good when you're not always feeling amazing, when you're not always feeling neutral, and when you're not always feeling like it's really hard. Like those things should always be like equally dispersed in your business. And that, I don't know. I thought that was like really cool. And I think it was
No.
a TikTok talking about like athletic training or something. But I was like, no,
Yes,
we
it
could
was like an Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. I love that. And sometimes I do feel all those feelings in one day. Like that's fine. I just think when you're feeling like that third of doubt, it's like, okay, but is this where you give up or is this where you push past it and keep going? Like you have to make that decision.
Yeah. I need to get on like motivational talk like you guys are on. I feel like you guys have the
yeah.
same, like it's been curated the same way. Like my TikTok is like, I don't know. I need to like get on your TikTok. So Cassie, what's your biggest in 2023? What is your biggest goal this year?
My goal is to kind of set myself up to put more of myself in my business next year. 2022 was really busy and a lot of growth, which was great. And then I kind of realized 2023 is the last time I'll have with both my girls at home with me. So I kind of wanted to take a step back, be really intentional with the weddings that I took. But I am ready to kind of set myself up for another growing year next year. So I think it's just continuing to like make connections, network, kind of get in the room, but also just be patient. Like I truly believe everything I want is coming towards me. I don't need to know when it's going to happen, but I'm ready to put in a little more work. It's been amazing spending these last couple months with my kids. Like I could burst into tears right now. My oldest starts kindergarten in the fall and we just went to her like beginner's night and stuff. So I'm really excited for that stage of life to happen and just have a little more time for my business. But yeah,
It's cool. Well,
it's a season, right? This was a season to kind of focus on my family, but I'm not giving up. Like I'm ready to, chase the next big thing.
Well, I also think like you having that space to be more intentional about those weddings that you're doing this year, I'm
Yeah.
sure that they're weddings that you're really excited about, right?
I am. Yes, and I'm very blessed where like I'm not the breadwinner. Like I don't really need to be working. My husband has like a very steady job, and so I have the freedom to kind of choose what I want to do. And I am truly so ecstatic about all the weddings I have this year and the weddings I have next year so far. So it's like sometimes I feel like you definitely have those weddings where it's like either way I'm creating a beautiful film for my couples, and I love that I can do that. But this, I'm like, wait, I'm really like excited, like creatively going to be really fulfilled by these weddings
Well,
too.
Cassie, this has been an amazing conversation. Honestly, I'm gonna go start affirmations, I think, right when we end recording.
Yes. I'll send you. I have a list of like 100 affirmations. I'll send it to
Ooh,
you.
please do.
You can just pick and choose which one work. Yeah, you too, Kelley.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Share the love. Well, if someone's
Yes.
not already following you, can you just tell them where they can find you online if they want to connect and look at your beautiful work?
Yes. So Instagram, I'm Cassie Hiatt Films. My website is cassiehiatt.com, and then I'm also on TikTok, Cassie Hiatt Films as well. Those are kind of the three places I'm most active on.
Cool. Thank you so much for just all your inspiring words, and your story is so unique. And I just think that everyone listening, I hope that you walk away feeling inspired and a little bit more, sure of yourself and going into this year with a whole new outlook. And we thank you so much, Cassie.
Thank you for joining us in this conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, please help us reach more filmmakers just like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it on social media. Don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.